So in this video, I'm going to pay attention to our neighbors overseas, the United States, because we have a new president at the moment, at this very moment, who is being sworn into office. President Donald Trump. Donald Trump is being sworn into office right now, and his inauguration is at the moment while I'm making this video. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to teach many of you how to treat somebody who's in that position. The first thing you do is you congratulate. So right here, I'm going to congratulate Donald Trump on becoming the president of the United States. Donald Trump, congratulations. You might not even ever watch this video, but I got a hunch that you might come and watch this video at some point in the near future. So Donald Trump, congratulations on your new presidency and being the new president-elect and now the president of the United States. And yeah, so I definitely wanted to get this video out. Donald Trump is now going to be the 47th president of the United States. If I'm not mistaken, it's the 47th. So that's really cool, man. It's a really high achievement. It's in government and politics. It's one of the highest achievements in that field. So you need to recognize what that is, and I recognize what that is. And another reason why I've paid attention to it is because, of course, many of the places where I'm working online are interacting with my neighbors overseas. I'm from the UK. Many of you are from the US. So I've been paying attention to your elections and how things are going for your politics, because of course this can affect me when I'm interacting with you, and also it can affect you. Most importantly, it will affect you if you're overseas in the United States. So that's one of the main reasons why I pay attention to American politics in terms of, you guys. It's important for you, and therefore I'm definitely watching. But of course, because I'm in the UK, sometimes there is some interactions from the US in terms of politics, so also I'll pay attention to that as well. I just wanted to make this really short video and actually not a short video. I just wanted to make an honest cutback, no bull video, which I like to do every now and then, not only to get it off my chest, but also to talk to you guys. There have been all sorts of tensions in terms of this election with different policies that have been important to specific people. And of course, going into this election race, I was paying attention to all of that, but that race is now done. You have to understand that race is now done. Yes, there are policies that people will still want to push, but you have to go through Donald Trump now to get those policies into place. You cannot go above and beyond somewhere else to try and get an American legislation put into place. If Donald Trump says no, he is the president-elect, he's the president, he can say what goes. Therefore, there are some changes that he's already put into place already without even being in office, by using the power of his voice and voicing certain things that he does not want to come into play. For example, with TikTok. So he's obviously said something about TikTok. Therefore, the legislation or whatever was put into place by the former president has now been slightly reversed, I think, or it's been softened, or there's been a time extension. All we know from whatever was said is that the action that was put into place to ban TikTok has now been reversed. Now, was it TikTok who chose to put that hard ban in place because of the pressures from the US government? I think so. But of course, the US government were also planning to ban it anyway. So it wasn't a hard ban from what I could gather when we were running through this whole TikTok battle with the legislation that the US government were putting into place. And it was around or surrounding data privacy. So of course, that is one thing that Donald Trump says he doesn't agree with that. And therefore, you can see the change that's taken place. But of course, that would be on the heads of TikTok, surely, because if TikTok have decided to make it a hard ban as opposed to the ban that would have been in place otherwise, which was basically the app would have not received updates, meaning that the users that already had it would be able to still use it. That sort of kind of got reversed after TikTok made a hard ban. So whatever the discussion is or whatever happened, obviously US users can now download the application. They can start using TikTok. This could have affected a lot of other applications and websites. So, of course, our communication, I'm paying attention to that. It's very important to pay attention to these sort of things, especially when it directly affects you. So if something directly affects you, You damn Skippy, I'm gonna be looking at it. So yeah, man. So if everything is okay for you now, I'm happy for you. And my US neighbors, I'm paying attention and making sure that we can still continue to have our conversations online, these discussions online, and these type of videos that I can make can still reach you. On my channel right now, I have a variety of content. I consider myself a variety creator. I've changed a different format recently, and that enabled me to create a plethora of videos very fast. Because if I'm not involving me visually in the content, it's a bit faster, depending on what type of content I'm making. So, depending on which, for example, if it's gaming, it depends on which game I'm playing because it can take a very long time to get the right kind of content for the specific game that I'm playing. So it depends. If I'm playing a battle royale game and I'm looking for a victory royale, that could take me 10 hours, 20 hours, 25 hours, 2 days. It depends on the current state of that game. If I'm going to teach something, of course, that could take a random amount of time as well. You never know. It could take 48 hours. It could take 24 hours. It could take a whole week. It could take a month. It could take a long time. It depends on that type of content. So there's going to be a lot that I'm going to be doing on my YouTube channel, potentially. If things continue to go, if things go in a good direction, if they go in the opposite direction, then most likely I probably won't be uploading to YouTube. Because if they stop you from uploading to YouTube because they put some law in place, literally making something illegal, then you won't be able to do this thing. We have to understand, as the people who are creators or creating or interacting or commenting, that we do not pull the strings on this site. We don't pull the strings on these social media. Government, potentially, and staff members do. So if there's a change that directly affects you, to get that change reversed or to get that change to a fair point in our perspective, you don't have much power or say in what goes. There's not much power or say in what goes with that. If I feel like YouTube have done something really silly, which I believe that they have to their own detriment, then I can't. There's not much I can do at all about changing that thing that has either bastardized the website, the YouTube community, or damaged the YouTube community, damaged creators, and most importantly, damaged the viewing experience. If the viewing experience is damaged and those at the top cannot see the damage it's causing, then of course this can dramatically affect viewing trends. It can affect how many people are using YouTube, and it can also affect what happens to YouTube as a result. Because who knows, there might be some legislation that comes into place to stop YouTube doing something as well. So we need to be careful of that. So I think that it's a pivotal time. What was happening with TikTok legally, for what could happen potentially to YouTube. So let's keep that in mind, because it's not just advertisers and it's not just creators. There are developers and there's legislation and there are business must-dos that cannot be avoided for most of us, including YouTube. So obviously certain things have changed on the back end of YouTube, and now we're going to see how YouTube deals with it. Would it go in a positive direction? Is Donald Trump going to be a factor in what goes on with the platform going forward? I guess we'll find out. If you enjoyed my rambling, give it a thumbs up. No thumbnail on this one. I got some new cushions in the back. I mean, the cushions were there anyway. They just wasn't in that position. Can you see the color coding right now? The color aesthetic. Everything's kind of like beige, sand colored, Basim robes colored. If you enjoyed it, press it a thumbs up. On screen right now, you should see some additional content. This is my just brainstorm to you. Thanks for watching. More where this came from.